sometimes it's a little laggy, but hi, my name is Carrie and it's Halloween, so that's why I'm wearing my little vampire necklace thing. So I hope you're having a good one out there, not eating too much candy, I hope. Okay, so I just did a video. This is my second video. I used the Snagit software for the other one. I'm not a big fan, honestly. I don't know if it's just this, I got Windows 10. I mean, I don't feel like that's too outdated. But, you know, I'm not using that with this. So, anyway, yeah, so I thought, what a better day to do a video called Who Are the Voices? The voices that you hear in your head. I didn't really, I've said before on my videos that I didn't really hear that many voices, but you know, I think I do. Some of them sound like me. And I've noticed that at night when I try and when I'm trying to go to sleep, I'm laying there and I'll hear them, and I'm just like, sometimes they sound like me, sometimes they don't, and they're really fast. And I took a nap earlier and I was just laying there, and it's like I was listening to a conversation, but I can't really make out what they're saying. Now I could get up and get a pen and be like, ooh, I'm gonna write this down and try and really pay attention to all that I'm hearing, but I didn't really want to because I was wanting to take a nap. So but who are those voices? What are they? Now I did actually think whenever I was hearing it was like a conversation, and I remember I was hearing it and I thought, and I know it was me thinking it because I'm just kind of like, you know, and I didn't say it out loud, but in my head, I was talking back to them. I'm like, it's like what are y'all talking about? It's like I'm hearing a conversation. And then I think I heard somebody say, or heard something say, you know, that I am part of the conversation, that it's me talking, so my soul, like, you're actually overhearing your soul talking. I mean, I'm like, okay. So yeah, I decided to go ahead and do this, you know, because Halloween, of course, you know, is when the veil between the worlds is the most thin. It doesn't have anything to do with Satan or anything like that. It's nothing bad. But yeah, my journey, my Kundalini awakening, my awakening actually happened back in 2015, in May, I think in May, or early June. So not that it really matters that much, but yeah, my guides woke me up, and that's what happens, you know, if it happens to you, and all of a sudden you're like, oh God, you know, what's going on? Everything's different. That's your guides waking you up. And so that is the first thing I wanted to mention, and that your voices, some of it is guides talking to you. Not even all of your thoughts in your head really are yours. So some of those can be guides communicating with you, and depending on your vibration or whatever, you know, and the amount of emotional clearing that you've done, that can affect guide communication. So you might, I mean, like for me, I think I'm just getting like little snippets here and there, and mainly they communicate with me in my dreams. So now I did hear two the first ones that I really noticed was like a little over a year ago, and I was laying down to go to bed, and I heard "Dear God," and I'm just like, you know, what was that? What? Dear God, you know, who is that? And then I laid back down, and a few minutes later I heard "Help me," and I'm like, okay, dear God, help me. Like, I'm hearing prayers. Like, what is going on? And it's very interesting that around that time, I think that night, I ended up having a very vivid dream that I was on a ship, and I saw like a giant hand come down and like just drop wood, like on some kind of like computer game or something, some kind of Sims game. It was just dropping wood, and then it was building houses, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is that the hand of God? What is that? And I crawled inside one of those little houses and went to sleep in my dream after that. So yeah, then I started researching, and I found a lovely woman named Jalailah Starr, and I talk about her all the time. She does a video called Higher Perspective on Schizophrenia, and I'm going to post links to that. I highly recommend that you go and you take a look at that, because what it is an open line of communication. Some people have more of a line of communication to the other side than others. If you think you're schizophrenic, or you're being told you're schizophrenic, it's very likely that you have a very large trunk. Like in the video that Jalailah does, it likens it to a internet connection. Some people have a dial-up connection. On the other side of that, some people have a T1 connector. So and she says that if you have been diagnosed schizophrenic, it's likely you do have that T1 connector. You have to be very careful of your vibration, no using drugs and shit like that, because you'll connect to something you don't want to connect to. And then you'll start hearing really bad voices, because you're connected to that dark layer where all of these, everybody that every day, everybody's thoughts goes up into the mass consciousness, into the grid, and their negative thoughts go in there to a dark layer. And so that's where all your demons and things like that really exist, is in that dark layer. So if your vibration's real low, you're hearing some voices saying hurt yourself, really bad, negative, nasty voices, then raise your vibration, change your diet, don't smoke cigarettes, get out into nature, do a cleanse, and when your vibration raises higher, then you won't hear those voices anymore, those real negative ones. Now I've already mentioned your guides, and then also your higher self, your soul, will have thoughts going to you, because we're fractals of our soul. We're just pieces of our soul. Our soul exists in the higher realms, and down here we're like little fragments of our souls. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, our higher selves can connect to us and give us thoughts, and so it's likely gonna sound like your own voice in your head. Yeah, but anything that produces fear like that, now if it's a real negative, nasty voice producing fear, then that's a negative attachment. If it's something like a trickster guide or something like that, they can produce a certain amount of fear, but then they're probably trying to teach you, like, to shake you into getting some kind of lesson, like to getting to a point where you're like, okay, I'm ready to learn that lesson. What is it? So that and ancestors as well, can come through as voices. So if you're hearing a lot of voices and you don't want to hear a lot of voices anymore, you can say that out loud. You can request that communication come only at a certain time. Don't just ignore them, because ignoring them isn't going to work. You can't just take a pill or pills or whatever and just ignore your thoughts, because these are your guides trying to communicate with you. If you ignore them, then you're prolonging your own misery, because they're trying to get lessons across. And also, it's the birth of a healer. Like you might have ancestors coming through that are trying to align with you, and if you're taking medication, the medication closes that door, that line of communication. So it'll get rid of the voices, but is that what you really want? People like us, we're not here to fit in. We're here to anchor a new consciousness, a new energy in the planet. And so we're rising up. So I hope this helps you. I don't want it to get too freaking long, but I'm going to post a couple of links down below in the description. So I hope that you take the time out to go and check those out. And I hope y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.